It's mock draft time here on Philadelphia Eagles. Now, as producer Chip said before we started this segment, it's time to rock out with our mock out. Full 7-round mock draft coming your way with trades. Following the peak of NFL free agency, we have a good idea right now as to what areas the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman and this front office need to address, so let's do it. And we're going to start off with one of those trades. I like this trade for a couple of reasons. Philadelphia Eagles receiving pick number 29 and number 61. So that gives us a lot of selections there with a lot of wiggle room and flexibility inside the top 61 picks. The Lions get number 22 overall and 172 overall. So Detroit really wants to move up. I'm fine with moving 7 spots back to number 29 because I like the value of getting that 61st overall pick. And I'm going to surprise a lot of people with this 29th overall selection in round number 1. This Eagles offense is loaded. This Eagles offense is stacked. You have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley. I think wide receiver 3 is still a big need. How about Xavier Worthy out of Texas, going to the Birds, 29th overall? The Eagles don't need a wide receiver, but in a league in which offenses are increasingly winning at a big level, and the teams that make it deep into the playoffs are the best offenses, usually with the best quarterbacks, why not make a splash move here? They didn't need Saquon Barkley. They picked up another weapon. You get another weapon in Xavier Worthy to stretch the field vertically. Imagine what that does, having that threat alongside A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, opening up vertical routes, crossing routes, underneath routes, running lanes for Jalen Hurts. This Eagles offense would truly become absolutely elite. And Xavier Worthy had very elite production in his career at Texas. Starts off with the boom in 2021, 62 catches, 981 yards, and 12 tutties as a freshman. In 2022, numbers went down a little bit. Still really solid, 60 catches, 760 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Then this past year, en route to Texas, making it to the college football playoff, 75 grabs, more than 1,000 yards, a career high in Austin for him, and 5 touchdowns. His testing numbers at the NFL Scouting Combine, ridiculous. We like to reference these math bomb relative athletic scores where these draft prospects are judged on a scale of 1 to 10. Worthy here getting a 9.37 overall grade. Green is great. Red, not good. The red, it's because of his size. He lacks it. 5'11", 165 pounds. But he ran a combine record 4.21 40-yard dash. His vertical leap, elite. Broad jump, very good. Goes to show you how explosive he is. And when I was at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago, we asked Xavier Worthy, who did you model your game after? Because you're built similarly to a former Eagle legend who is also really fast, who also had punt return experience, who could also take the top off of the defense. That Eagle, Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson was actually my idol growing up. That was my favorite player growing up. Watched this film since I was kind of 5 years old. So that's been my favorite player since.
So Xavier Worthy saying right there, pretty damn cool to have a player who grew up watching Deshaun Jackson, who brings this offense something similar that Deshaun Jackson brought to Philadelphia way back in the day, who gave this organization so many highlight reel worthy plays. Punt returner, thank you Giants, miracle at the Meadowlands, number 2. All those 50-plus yard bombs. Xavier Worthy on this team just gives you another elite weapon. Now, we didn't draft need in round 1. We went best player available after we moved back to number 29. Now, we have an intriguing selection at 50th overall in the second round, and that's Max Melton from Rutgers. Not far from Philadelphia, Max Melton is what you define as a dog at the quarterback position. When we scout him, he could play inside and outside and brings a lot of bulk and strength and size to that position. My thought process here, Tyler Hall isn't the every down starting option at slot nickel corner, nor is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson because you want him to play a little bit of safety. Max Melton, as a young player, can play in the slot. Eventually, as Darius Slay, James Bradbury get a little bit older, we'll see what the Eagles get from Isaiah Rodgers. He can move out to the outside. Melton, I love his progression as he got better every single year. It's also very quick. Ran a 4.39 40-yard dash at the combine. Really good ball skills with the knack for making plays on the rock. 53rd overall. It's not long until the Eagles are on the clock once again. They already have a top 30 visit set with Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M. The value here is just too good for me, and we're once again going with the best player available strategy. Edgerrin Cooper was made to play in Philadelphia. Chases down the football. Passion, intensity, dog mentality, as Nick Sirianni likes to call it. He's a very physical linebacker. Ran a 4.51 40-yard dash. Has a little bit of a Fred Warner feel to me because Fred Warner's not a huge guy, but he's really quick and instinctual, plays with a lot of passion and intensity. That's what Cooper brings to the football field. 6'2", 230, 4.51 40-yard dash. He could bulk up just a little bit, but I absolutely love the selection here, and I'd be elated if the Eagles can get Cooper at 53rd overall. They might have to scoop him up a little bit earlier. Let's go to defensive tackle now. 120 overall. Philadelphia doesn't make a pick for a long while. And we go with a little bit of a developmental project here in Jordan Jefferson, but the potential is there. 6'3", 313, coming out of LSU. He could be a nose tackle in Vic Fangio's scheme because I think Vic is going to pivot to a 3-4. Why I like him, despite him needing some grooming and development, very fast first step. And when you're 313 pounds with a fast first step, there's room for you at the NFL level, and you don't have to play him right away. You have Milton Williams as a backup. You have P.J. Mustipher as a backup. Your starters are going to be Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. You have Moro Ajomo, so you throw Jefferson into the mix. This is more of a long play, and you can afford to have that long play at a position where you're somewhat set at. He's a run play disruptor. The technique needs work, but you just got to coach him up, and the Eagles have done a good job of doing that with defensive linemen. With that, today's poll question is this: what's the biggest draft need for the Eagles? Want you to let me know here in the comment section. Get creative, show off that football knowledge, and as you venture down to the comment section, in the description of this video and in the comment section is the link down below. chatsports.com/Saquon jersey. If you want a Saquon Barkley number 26 Nike jersey with the new Eagles font right across the chest, you can get that using that link down below. Also, if you want other Eagles jerseys, you still use that link down below, and you can find plenty of Philadelphia Eagles jerseys thanks to our friends at Fanatics. 161 overall. Cam Kinchens out of Miami, going into the NFL scouting combine, people were raving about him. One of the best safeties in this class, maybe a second-round, third-round pick. I think he's going to fall because he tested horribly in Indianapolis. He's a slow safety. He ran a 4.65 40-yard dash. But the thought process here is that he's tough, he's intelligent, he's heady, he's cerebral, he has good instincts, and if you could predict what's going to happen before the play actually happens, that makes up for the lack of speed. I like his play speed. I like the tape. I like the fact that he had 11 takeaways in the last 2 years. So can the instincts make up for him being slow? We'll see if he falls all the way up to this point for Philadelphia. If he does, I think you could use a developmental safety as well. And that's part of what the latter rounds of the draft are utilized for. Then we go running back. And I've talked a lot on the show how you have Saquon Barkley and Kenneth Gainwell. You need an RB3. I don't think that Ty Davis Price is going to be the RB3 for this team. He can't pass block, can't really catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a talented runner as a former third-round pick out of LSU, but he had one year of production at LSU. So Isaac Guerendo out of Louisville, fascinating prospect at 171 overall. He is lightning quick. 4.33 40-yard dash at 221 pounds. So Xavier Worthy ran a 4.21, about a second faster at 165 pounds. We're talking about 50 pounds in difference, right, between Guerendo and Xavier Worthy. So he's a decisive back, a home run hitter. He can pass protect. He has had injury issues throughout his collegiate career at Louisville. A lot of hamstring issues because he's a track star. He's a burner. But you shore those up with the medical staff and a training staff and a strength and conditioning program that's been pretty good for the Eagles during this Nick Sirianni era. Can you get him on the right track? He's not going to go that early, I don't think, unless the team just becomes infatuated with that speed and size combination. But a 4.33 at 221 pounds, I can't pass up on that type of potential. And we talk about these relative athletic scores. It really doesn't get much better than this, ladies and gentlemen. On a scale of 1 to 10, 9.99. Do you see any yellow? No. Do you see any red? No. 6 foot, 221 pounds. Great vertical, great broad, that elite 40-yard dash, the 10-yard split, the 20-yard split. This guy is a freak. And for his size, so too is Dylan MacMahon, the offensive guard and center out of NC State. Is Tyler Steen the answer? We'll see. The coaching staff's going to have to make that decision. Is Cam Jurgens going to be good? I think he will be. Jason Kelsey handpicked him as his replacement. Dylan MacMahon, though, he could play center. He could play guard. He ran a 5.1 40-yard dash at 299 pounds. Jason Kelsey ran a sub-5 40-yard dash at about 280, 285 pounds, something in that neighborhood. So MacMahon can get out on the run. He's very, very quick, and he can really be a mover. Moving guys and moving himself. For this Eagles offense, has experience running in this type of offensive scheme. All right, grade the Eagles mock draft here. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down in the comments section. Obviously, Philadelphia losing a couple of picks in that Kenny Pickett trade. So let me know what you're thinking about it down in the comments section.